Hey everyone, um, we're live. Welcome. I have got a surprise for you. How excited are you and how lucky are you? Um, let's see. I'm just sorry. I got distracted by a comment in the chat there. It's lovely to see you all. The surprise is that I'm not alone. I've got a guest waiting in the wings. And that guest is the lovely Gerald. Hi, Gerald.
Hello.
How are
How are
you
you?
doing?
I'm well. Thank you for inviting me.
That's okay. Thank you for agreeing to come live with me. This will be good fun.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, Gerald and I just thought. Well, I thought we could go live, have a quick catch up, see what the people in the chat are saying, and then at some point, later on, we can do our usual. We can do our usual sling and sip together, or sip and sling. But Gerald and I are going to read for each other, rather than read for ourselves. So that'll
Mhm.
be exciting. I'm going to try my best to keep up with people in the chat and what you guys are saying about your readings as well, because I feel as though I'm not very good at that when I've got someone else live with me. So, Gerald, you can keep me in line with that.
Do you want me,
Oh,
Chris? Check the comments.
oh, look at that. Gerald's got an exciting microphone. Have you
Yes.
always had that?
Um, yes, I have. I just somebody had recommended it and it was on sale, and I went,
Ah,
I have a little money from the holidays, so I'm going to do that. So there we go.
nice.
So
Very
yeah.
nice. I had one of them, but I don't. I either my microphone just wasn't very good, or I wasn't very good at using it. But I felt as though like I kept, I don't know, my audio kept coming in and out. Maybe
Mm.
I just moved my head about too much or something.
Oh,
But it was just annoying. So it's better that I've got the microphone attached to me.
yeah.
Or so it seemed. Anyway, let me say hello to everyone in the chat. So the lovely Diane was first in. She says, "I'm here, but I'm going to the bus stop in a bit. She'll be back around 4:15. So that's in about 5 minutes actually. So
Yep.
that's okay. We can handle that." Um, the lovely Jen from Inspiration Psychology with Jen is here. Hi Jen, how are you? It's lovely to see you. I hope you're doing okay. Robin's here. Hi Robin. Robin says, "Hey Chris, can I get a general reading today with the Shining Tribe Tarot? It just came out here on Amazon and I'm trying to decide if I should buy it. If it's something that I can work with." You sure can, Robin. Since it's you, I will do a reading for you with the Shining Tribe Tarot.
Just for
Um,
you.
mhm.
Just for you.
um, but you should get it anyway, since it's Rachel Pollock. Nope, nope. I'm hiding them. I'm hiding them. Nope. Don't purchase responsibly. Don't know your limits. Just do it. Just
Just
get
do it. Just do it.
it. I was waiting for that.
I know.
Right. Kristen's here. Hi, Kristen.
Hi, Kristen.
And Simon from the Hermit's Cave is here. Hi,
Hey,
Simon. How you
Simon.
doing? Who else have we got? Robin's asking Simon if he's got a walkthrough of the Shining Tribe. I need to look and see if I want it just out here on Amazon. Um, I don't think you did one, Simon, because I was waiting to see your thoughts on it and I never saw it pop up. And I actually wondered if you'd gotten it. And the only reason I found out that you'd got it was because did you used it for one of your, when you post in the Hermit's Cave about what your kind of a favourite card
Oh,
is. I'm
yeah.
sure you
Hmm.
used it for that. So that's the only reason that I know that you did get it. So yeah, you should totally do a walkthrough. That would be interesting. Let's see, we've got Marita's here as well. Hi Marita. And Malamir. Hey Malamir. Hope you're doing okay today.
Hello.
Robin says hi Eminem.
Very.
Karen's here. Hi, Karen. You doing okay? Oh, the lovely Tammy Pie's here too.
Tammy Pie, good to see you.
Yeah. And are we at the bottom? We are at the bottom. So that's everyone that's here so far. And of course, we've got the lovely Gerald here too.
So it's this one, Robin.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that's just come
Do
out. So
it.
this is like, yeah, you should. That is quite. It's wiser that I've released this edition of it.
Yes. Yes.
And I think if you include, so it was originally released as the Shining Woman Tarot. She then re-released it as the Shining Tribe,
Mm-hmm.
and she released, the copy that I've got, but
Yeah.
also there's an art deck that's like borderless. It's a borderless deck, uh, and now she's bringing, and now they've brought out this new edition. So it's pretty exciting. It's a shame that she never got to see. Well, I mean, I'm sure she's watching, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a shame that she never got to see it kind of come out. But I know that she had input on, like she did have artistic input on, like she wanted some of the colours changed, and there's like kind
Well,
of a
that's
different
good.
cards put in and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's definitely worth getting.
Well, and it has, according to this, it has a 272-page book with it. So I can't
Yeah.
argue with. I like a good book with my decks. So
Yeah, right. This book, I would say that the deck is worth getting just for the book alone.
mm-hmm.
The book is really, really interesting.
Yeah.
This is actually
Oh, that's
331.
the separate one. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a
Wow.
different one. Um, but yeah, I'll get that deck out shortly, Robin, and I will pull some cards for you with it. I'm in a bit of a study group for the Shining Tribe just now, so it's always on my desk, never far away. Rolf is here. Hi, Rolf. How you doing? Um, Robin says it's totally not my style, but hey, after all, it's Rachel Pollock. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, Gerald, anything new happening with your good self?
Yes. In fact, I just purchased the new released The Shining Tribe Tarot. I purchased responsibly. I knew my limits, and I know you're not here to you're here to share, not to sell. Are you okay? Did I make you choke?
Yeah, did you just buy it the other now?
I just bought it. I was just like going, and yes, it is Rachel Pollack, but it's the and just looking at it, the images are not something that I would normally go with. However, I'm finding myself right now being willing to think outside of the standard box. And I'm like going, well, this one would do it for me. So I
Yeah,
just went ahead and did it.
brilliant.
So
I look forward to hearing your thoughts on it once you've got it.
maybe I can have you on for a deck casual about it.
Oh, I would love that. I would
So
absolutely love that.
yeah, I always love that. But I've been very well, thank you. Been very well.
Good, good. And
So
how's my good friend, the lovely Jeffrey?
Jeffrey is wonderful, handsome, and gorgeous as ever, and just big hearted, working very, very hard. He didn't get home until late last night, which I was like, going, I'm going to bed. Your dinner is in the oven.
Oh,
So, but that's okay. He's things are improving, and he's got a great relationship with his boss. So
right,
that really helps. So
right. Okay.
yeah. So, and
Good.
he's probably all excited that I am here. He's probably jealous that I'm here with you.
Well, I was going to say, I need to be careful how I word this. Um, I was I was going to say we should do another one of these, but have Jeffrey on as well,
Hmm.
and almost do like a, I don't know what else to call it except three-way, but you know what I mean, like like one of us reads for one, they read for the other one, and then that one reads for the first one. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I understand that. Yes, and my mind is not in the gutter. So I
no, no,
completely
of course
understand.
not. We're very sensible, and certainly not reading anything further into that at all.
So yes,
No,
yes. So,
the thing is, we do need to come up with a sensible name because I can't call it Tarot Three Way on fucking YouTube because then we'll got all sorts of people coming to see what's going on, and I don't think that I've got enough mods to be able to handle that. So,
well, put them out. Put it
um,
on subscribers only mode. You know, so
oh right,
you can do
yeah,
that.
I've never thought about that. Never thought about doing that. Um, but yeah, um, Karen says thanks for doing this. Always been curious about this deck being Rachel Pollock. Yeah, yeah. Triangle readings, Tammy Pie
Oh, Tammy
suggesting.
Pie.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like that. Yeah, Jen's saying it would certainly attract an interesting crowd. Triad, I like that. And Robin
mhm,
says it as well. Tarot triads. Yeah,
yeah.
I think we've stumbled on something special there.
Well, and I have to say, and I told you this when I saw you doing some readings with you on a Sunday, that I love this idea that you and Marion did, and you read for each other. So I'm starting a series where I'm going to be inviting readers on, and we're going to be picking a spread, and we're going to be reading for each other during the
Yeah.
live, because I think it's one of those things, Chris. The interpretation and the way cards interact is really,
Mm,
really beneficial to see how other people do it, because people here I've read with and I've watched them, and it's just
mm.
like going, I never thought of it that way. That is so helpful, so very insightful. So I'll get off
Yeah.
my soapbox. I'm a little jazzed.
Oh, no, that's okay. You feel free to stay on your soapbox as long as you want. Oh, before I forget, this isn't really related to what we were talking about, but do you want to see something mildly exciting?
Yes.
So, because I'm doing this thing on Sunday, I had business cards made and I
Great.
got them through.
Uh-huh.
So these are my business cards.
Look at that.
How cool is that?
That
I'm
is
really pleased with them.
that's wonderful.
Yeah. So
Congratulations.
the deck that's kind of on the background is the Dodal that Justin made for me.
Oh, I love that.
Um, so I think it's. I mean, I spoke to Justin and kind of got his permission, but he was like, "Of course, why are you asking?" But I don't think there's any kind of a copyright issues with using that.
Hmm.
So I've used that for the background, and yeah, but I wanted to have the rounded edges because I hate pointy cards. Like I'm funny with it.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, I'm excited. I'll get to give out my wee business cards to people,
I love it.
and
That's
I've even
great.
got a wee business card. Get two of these. I've got wee business card holders.
Fancy, fancy, fancy. Look at
I
you.
know, fancy bitch. And for anyone that's wondering, the company that made the business cards for me, this is what they're called. Um, Neuragica. Neuragica. Not really sure how
Okay.
you would pronounce that, but Neuragica. So yeah, exciting stuff.
Very
All,
nice.
all profesh with my business cards.
Yeah.
Or Robin saying, what does it say? Um, let's see. Let me put the light on and actually let you see it properly.
He's gonna
So
get all fancy.
yeah. So let's see. I'll zoom in on it. So that's obviously just my logo from my YouTube. Um, Tarot readings by Chris, and then my Instagram link, my YouTube link, and then my email.
Nice.
I was toying with the idea of putting my mobile number on it, but um, I was advised not to. Um, just a bit of friendly advice that I got from someone was don't
Mhm.
actually take that off, don't put that on.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll end up getting phone calls at all hours of the night.
Yes.
For people wanting to know, are they going to win the bingo and stuff like that. So, yeah, I took that advice. I thought that'd be a good idea. And it means that my phone number isn't just out there all over the
True.
place. Um, so yeah, that's what it says, Robin. Um, just thank you, Tammy Pie.
Hmm.
Thanks, Jen. And Kristen says, very nice. I had business cards made for my reading event the other day, but I was so busy that I forgot to hand them out. I'm probably just going to stick them on the table and let people help themselves to them.
Uh-huh.
Um, and let's see, Time Pie says, I used the Ace of Discs from Thoth for my business cards. Nice,
Nice.
nice,
Very
Time
nice.
Pie. Let's see. Rolf says, great cards. Print on both sides.
I think
No,
so.
so
Yep.
they're just one-sided, Rolf. The back's just white card. Um, but I don't know. I suppose if there's like a really handsome person, I could always write my number on the back. I
You
need to have
could.
these options open.
Yes. Or people could actually, during their reading, take notes on the back of the card.
Yeah, I guess there's that too. That's true.
I'm being
Very true.
practical. Sorry.
Making it all sensible. Yeah, Kristen, how did your event go the other day? Did you enjoy it? Cool. Try to think if there's any other exciting news that I've got. Have you got any exciting news, Gerald? You've always got some exciting news on the go,
I've
apart from
got a
just
lot of
purchasing Shining Tribe.
yeah, I just bought the Shining Tribe. I've got a lot of good shows coming up that I'm very excited about. I've got some collabs coming up in the sense of Laugh and Learn, talking about what a healing deck is and what it means to be a healing
Okay.
deck.
Okay.
Jamie and I are still doing our usual stuff, and I'm going to get brave, and I'm going to send some emails to some content creators to see if they want to come on and talk about their decks. So I'm looking
Brilliant.
forward to it. So,
Excellent. That'll be really good.
so, but yeah, and
I've got a list of people that I need to contact about doing readings about no, not readings about going live with.
mhm.
Um, and yeah, I really need to get on that. So I do. Um,
Well, we just had the eclipse on Monday,
we
and
did.
at my house, I was about 99% with the eclipse. So that was great. If I had traveled 20 miles north, I would have been in the full eclipse. But
Right.
it was great to be out there and to see it. It was pretty exciting to see it so close.
Nice.
I mean, it's amazing how you have to have the glasses to be able to see what's going on. It was cool.
Right.
So I did a little bit of magic during that, and
Nice.
I didn't do anything with crystals during the eclipse, but I did some eclipse water, and I have a couple of decks. I have a Radiant Sun Oracle and a Moon Oracle decks that I pulled out and shuffled during the full as close to the full eclipse that I got. It was great.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
Very good.
So
That's brilliant.
yeah, that was a long one,
Um,
but we had an eclipse. Well, and
no, but it's actually really nice to hear about Gerald because lots of people that I've spoke to were actually really feeling really kind of blocked or maybe just a bit drained during the eclipse.
mm,
Like I know that I know someone that I know normally kind of does readings every day, but actually didn't feel moved to do any readings at all on the day
okay.
of the eclipse. So I kind of I know that a lot of people were feeling really psychically blocked on that day. So it's good to hear that you had a different experience.
Yeah.
That's quite nice.
And yeah, and I know a lot of people who, because I actually would have been doing a live during the eclipse, and
Right,
I'm not gonna do that. I mean,
right.
I just have other stuff that I want to do. And it was really, it was great for me just to sit and to sort of bask in the glow of the energy. And I know a lot of
Mhm.
people were, they were vibrating, and people were talking about that they felt their energy shift and their chakras open. And I thought that was really cool. I said, I'm great.
Nice.
I think it's great.
That's brilliant.
So
Malamir says that her city was in the path of totality for
nice.
the eclipse. Kristen's saying that she had a ton of fun. I waffle between thinking I did really well to questioning myself. Um, that's natural. Don't worry about that. I think most people are probably the same. Do you know what I mean? I
Hmm.
know that I definitely am, and I definitely will be. I'll probably be overthinking to the max on Sunday.
I've
But
never overthought anything.
no, not you, Gerald.
No, not at all.
um,
At
no,
all.
I was speaking to. I was actually in work. Um, there's a there's a girl that I work with, and she's not long started. She's a trainee, and I'm kind of a helping out. We're doing a bit of coaching with the team,
Hmm.
and she had gotten advice from one of the managers in my department, one of the team leaders, on what to do, and the team leader had said to her, like it says you know what you're doing. Basically, that was it. It says you know what you're doing. Like he'd been very kind of a supportive of what her thoughts on the matter were.
Hmm.
And he was just kind of like, yeah, that all sounds good. On you go. You know what you're doing. Like, take it away type thing. But because she's very much an overthinker and because she questions herself a lot of the time, him saying to her, you know what you're doing, really sent her into a spiral of overthinking.
Ooh.
Do you know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
Which I thought was quite a, well, I mean, interesting from an intellectual point of view. It's a shame
Hmm.
for her. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I was like, remember, he's probably saying that to build your confidence and to, you know, to kind of like, let you know that you're on the right track.
Yeah.
So, um, like, yeah, it's a shame, but look, with overthinking, it's the Nine of Swords, isn't it? Like, it's an energy that can be really overwhelming, but if you channel
Yeah.
it the right way,
Yes.
um, you know, and she is a prime example of that. She's the kind of person that if she is actually putting her, if she's channeling that high mental energy to the thing that
Hmm.
she's trying to do, then she's really good. Do you
Yes.
know what I mean?
Yes.
Um,
Mm. Well, and I think a lot
but
of us do that, and we do need to slow down enough. And as somebody, I used to be a supervisor, so I would try to
mhm,
figure out if I didn't want somebody who I supervised to, I didn't want to say that to them if it was going to spiral them out. So it
mhm,
helped me because I'm very curious. It's like, okay, what would be the best way to tell you this?
mm,
That
yeah,
you are getting things, you're understanding them, you're doing all the right stuff.
yeah,
It was a great conversation. So
yeah, yeah. But it's interesting to think that like what would be really affirming and would really build one person up can actually like it wouldn't be the same to another. It can have the
oh
complete
yeah,
opposite effect on someone else.
yeah,
Um, so
I
yeah,
completely understand. And I love it. Tony is here, and Jen said an ADHD brain is the worst for overthinking.
she did. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can imagine. Um,
Yeah.
right, Mr. Robin. So let me get back to the
Yeah.
start and see exactly what Robin said. So he says, "Hey Chris, can I get a general reading today with the Shining Tribe Tarot? It just came out here on Amazon, and I'm trying to decide if I should buy it, if it's something that I can work with." Right, okay. So let's see what comes up for you, Robin. So I'm just going to do the cross part of the Celtic cross here, in case anyone's wondering what I'm doing. And we'll see what comes up. Now, some of these cards I am more connected to than others, because you know I'm in the middle of kind of a studying it, and just some of them I'm not as familiar with, I guess. Um, right, I need to think and actually connect to Robin here. Right, so the Ace of Trees. I'm trying to do this in a way so I'll hold them up and show you them, but I'll stay zoomed out so you can see the cards laid out on the table. So this is the Ace of Trees, Robin. So you've got this kind of a baby within the ground that's, the tree, the roots of the tree act as the umbilical cord, and they're being fed by the tree, which in turn is being fed by the sun. So that's why she's picked the tree for the element of fire in place of the wands, because trees in the world, they harness the power of the sun,
Mhm.
they take in sunlight and turn it into fuel. So it's almost like the most natural use of the fire element that we have. Oh, you're crossed by the death card. And this almost has like a Pandora's box feel to it. So it does. The way the box has been opened in the background. You've got this kind of a quite foreboding, almost like Hannibal Lecter looking figure now that I actually look at it and
Mhm.
think about it. And it's even got like the moth on on
The
the center of the
chest, yeah.
chest there. So that's really quite interesting. Um, Up above in the conscious mind, we've got the Ten of Rivers. And this is quite the rivers are the cups, so this is quite, reasonably traditional when you think about what the Ten of Cups looks like. Down below in the unconscious, we've got the Three of Birds. So this is equivalent to the Three of Swords. And I suppose what's nice about this is, as much as we still kind of I get the feel of the Three of Swords with the three swords being dug into something, it's almost as though they're like opening up these pathways into the ground. Um, in the past position, we have the Six of Stones. And in the future position, we have the knower of rivers, and this is like the Knight of Cups. Okay. Okay,
Mm.
so if I think about the two center cards that you've got, Robin, you've got the Ace of Trees and the Death card. So both of these cards to me speak of like change and new beginnings happening. And kind of the fact that it's the Ace of Trees that's coming up tells me that it's something exciting. There's lots of new opportunity in there, and there's opportunity for growth. Now, it's crossed by the death card. Now, if anyone's just read 78 Degrees of Wisdom and reads in detail what Rachel says about the small cross, I've kind of really come to see the small cross as, so the first card is the internal. This is how you feel, or this is what's
Mm.
happening deep down, or the situation truly as it is on the, deep down at the core. The crossing card is the more external. So this is maybe how the situation might appear at first glance, what it's like on the surface level. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, the when Pandora's box is first opened, it's chaos. It's like all of the evils of the world come out. And it's, the world goes into, it's where like kind of a sickness and illness and famine and death and all these things come from. Um, and depending on which version of the story you listen to, there's this like wee bird called Hope. And Hope is either like the kind of the it's not all that bad, there are some positives type part of the story. And the version that I've heard, Hope never actually gets to come out of the box. and that's actually because, or the way that it's told is that hope is the cruelest um, trick that's played on humanity,
Oh,
is to give
interesting.
them hope.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a kind of quite a dark way of looking at it, and it's quite interesting. But anyway, the point is, there's probably some changes happening, or there might be some changes happening around you right now that on the surface level you've not quite decided how you feel about them. You know, you've not really decided whether you're altogether comfortable with them yet. But deep down, there's a real opportunity for you to grow, and it should be. I mean, it should be. Who am I to say what things should be? But it can be an exciting change. It can be an exciting time for you. Okay. Um, the so we've got on in the conscious mind. So this is where your focus is. This is the stuff that you're kind of actively looking at just now. You've got the Ten of Rivers, and then in the kind of a future type card, you've got the Knower of Rivers. So this suggests to me this is about connecting with other people. This is about connecting with the world around about you. Um, Robin, I feel as though every time I pull cards with you or I talk about cards with you, I feel like I'm always linking it to this same thing. And I don't know if that's just me latching on to one thing or if that genuinely is like kind of a like what's coming up for you a lot in the cards. But anyway, Ten of Rivers. So you know, where your mind is, you're on connecting with other people. You know, we actually see two people here hand in hand, and it's almost like they're waving at something.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel tells a story about this card where she actually once asked someone, a querent, to describe what they see in the card, and they says, "Well, it looks as though they're waving goodbye." It wasn't this card; it was the Rider-Waite Smith card. But
Uh-huh.
she says that that person said it looks like they're waving goodbye to something. And she says that's really interesting because it's not typically how you would tend to see that card. You don't really tend to see it as
Yeah.
leaving something behind, but it's a 10, so why not?
Yeah.
Um, so maybe that says that it's kind of a maybe it's leaving old ways behind, you know, and starting to embrace this time of having more social contacts, having more connection with other people. Um, this kind of a card in the past, it almost feels like, do you see how all of these different things? I'm not reading this typically how you would read the Six of Pentacles, by the way, but now everything feels dead segregated. It's like everything's got its own space, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Everything's kind of separated out. As though it's been put through one of those like centrifuge things, you know, and been chemically separated into its component parts. Well, that you know there was a time for that, but that's now past, and now it's time to kind of mingle again, intermingle again. And in your future card, you've got what is the equivalent of the Knight of Cups. It's the Knower of Rivers. Um, so I feel as though you're coming to a point, given that this is the knower, this is the person that understands the element and is well versed in it. You're coming to a point where you're going to become comfortable with this kind of all of this stuff, these connections that you're forming, and almost getting used to this new normal for you. And that just leaves the Three of Birds down below. So I suppose what that could be is like, you know how we've got, and it's interesting because if you look at what's coming out of the box, you've got all of these different coloured lines, and it's like, you know, all of these coloured lines are being released, and you've almost got something similar happening in the Three of Birds here. Now, the Three of Birds or the Three of Swords, it can be a painful card for people. You know, you've got these three swords being driven right into the very ground that we stand on.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to be an easy experience, but it leads to new things. It leads to new opportunities and new pathways. Um, so that's maybe, and that was the kind of a down in the unconscious position. So the stuff that's maybe under the radar, a wee bit under the surface that you're not so conscious of, but nonetheless is very kind of a prevalent right now for you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so that's maybe linked to this death card and how things are kind of how things are maybe feeling on the surface. You're maybe not fully appreciating that, you know, just working through those emotions, working through that kind of a reaction is really kind of opening up different opportunities for you. But all leading to the Knower of Rivers, which is, you know, feels to me like a really kind of a positive direction that things are going in. So yeah, that all feels like things are kind of going in quite a nice direction, Robin. I hope you feel the same. And yeah, I hope that you've now pressed that buy button and that I've been a filthy wee temptress and got you to buy the deck.
What is are the first card that you laid down? Are those wands? The trees?
Yes, so the trees are wands,
Okay.
the rivers. Well, we've actually got a representation from all the elements here. The trees are wands, the rivers are cups, the birds are swords, and the stones are pentacles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, Robin, do you want to know what I saw? I pulled some with the out of hand, the Jamie Sawyer deck. Robin, do you want me to give you a spin on that, if I may? I mean, I'll wait for Robin to say he may be purchasing responsibly right now because he said, "I think I'll buy it. It's only money."
Yeah, I seen that.
So,
um,
but okay, he said I may. See if I can do
you
this.
may.
Okay. All right. So see if I can do this. So the first card that I got was the Ten of Pentacles, and you have
Yes.
a great foundation. Oh, can I do that? How do I do that, Chris?
Um, so I've got the remote thing on the
Of
side of
course
my
you do.
OBS, and it lets me zoom in and out.
All
I
right. I don't
can
have that.
I can help you with how to do that at some point, but it's maybe not the easiest thing to do
Yeah.
just now.
Okay. So Robin, you have a solid foundation for this. You have a lot of experience, and this is crossed by the Ace of Wands. So you got the Ace of Wands in your reading for him, Chris. And I
Yep.
find it's very interesting because this is the card of, okay, it's time to be, we've things are good. This is that new inspiration. This is that new way of perhaps looking at things. So I actually love that. I am using the out of hand of the Jamie Sawyer out of hand, Malamir. And then Robin, the above was the unconscious. Was that right, Chris?
The conscious.
The conscious. Um, Robin, you have this is the Ten of Swords. You know you have a lot of decks. Do you need another deck? So you already know that. But this is that sense of is you've also got you're ready to do something new. It feels like you're ready to learn something new. The bottom is the magician. I mean, talk about using all of the tools that are available to you. You're building on that 10 of pentacles, Robin, and then being able to put it together in a new way. Really powerful for me. Um, and then the left side was what? The past.
Hmm.
We got the Queen of Pentacles. You've been making some stuff happen. You've been working on things. You've been teaching tarot, I believe. Have you been teaching tarot? But it feels like you've been teaching tarot. In the future, we got the Strength card, which look at this. We've got they're making quilts. One is actually sewing it with a machine, and one is actually doing it by hand. So this is an
Oh,
opportunity for you to get your hands back into something and really deep dive and learn it in a new way, because I think you're going to get lots of layers on that. So I got two tens. I got the 10 of swords and 10 of pentacles. I got two ones, magician and the ace of wands. So I got a
that's
queen
really
and an
cool.
eight. Yeah, it's really really interesting. So do it,
Brilliant. The
Robin.
artwork and the colours in that deck are really stunning, Gerald.
They really are. I love this deck, and it's one that works for me in the sense of of I can see myself in the deck, so
Hmm.
that it's like I this puts you really into the cards. It pulls you into it. So you've
Yeah,
been teaching.
nice.
One of my students is a strength and card significator. She's been wanting me to join her in an improv class. Do it. Cool.
There you go.
Thanks, Robin.
Brilliant. Thank you for that, Robin. I hope
I
that
hope
that
that
was
helped.
enjoyable. Liz is here. Hi, Liz. I'm just going to quickly catch up with the comments. Let's see. Tony says 100% my boss keeps calling her new team experts after 1 year in the speciality. Um, that that really makes us feel inadequate where she was pep talking us.
Mm.
Wow. Let's see. I saw Giselle as well. Jen and Funboy are both asking for readings. This wasn't. We weren't even meaning to do readings today, but I don't know. Maybe we'll. What time are we on? We're on 9:45. Maybe we'll do a wee 15 minutes, a wee 10, 15 minutes of some readings since people are asking, Gerald, before
Sure.
we. Would
Works
that
for
would
me.
that be okay with you? I don't want to steal
Absolutely.
too much of your time.
Absolutely. Robin asked another question at the end. What are the court cards names?
That's fine. I can help you with that. So the courts are called the vision cards rather than the court cards in this deck.
Ooh, I like
So
that.
if you're not big on changes to the courts, then this might kind of almost write it off for you. So rather than pages, we've got the place. So we've got the place of the element, and the idea behind that is it is the environment, you know, whether that's a physical environment or like a metaphorical environment, but it's the environment where you can harness that element and channel it and develop it and stuff like that. You've got that's the places rather than kind of like the page, but I see them as being different. You've got the knower. So the knower, you got the knower of rivers. Um, the knowers are like the knights. So they, well, it's what it says on the tin. They have a deep understanding of their element and how to channel it and use it in everyday life. We then have the gift. Okay, so the gift is kind of for me, feels a bit like the odd one out. The gift is like, it's all. I feel like actually as though I need to talk about the king equivalent first. So we have the knower instead of the knight. We then have the speaker, who is the king. Now the speaker is like, okay, so the knower understands it and knows how to apply it and stuff like that. The speaker knows it inside and out. They know how to apply it. They've got all the experience of working with the element to a point where they can now speak to it. They can now kind of talk about it and teach everyone else about how to use that element. And then the gift is the equivalent to the queen, and the gift is like you've got the place, you've got the knower, you've got the speaker. It's all very kind of a down to earth, logical uses of the element, and then the gift is just like that kind of a that unforeseen appreciation. Do you know what I mean? I suppose to a degree it is what it says on the tin. It's a gift. It's something that you're not necessarily asked for or worked for. It's just like that. It's just there. It is. So it's something a wee bit different, and I don't think the gift really can compare to anything that we're maybe typically used to reading with. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so those are the four: place, knower, gift, speaker. So I hope that's helpful.
I love the idea of changing the names to get rid of the binary example of it and to really get it to the energy of the card. So
Yeah. It really kind of changes things up. So it does. I think it's really cool.
yeah.
Hi Giselle. It's lovely to see you. Hope you're doing
By the way,
okay.
you're welcome, Giselle. Giselle was asking the name of this deck. It's the Out of Hand by Jamie Sawyer, which is currently out of print.
Nice. Um, let's see. See, Giselle hand sews and machine sews, so I might need this deck. Oh yeah, that was what you answered. Um, but yeah, Giselle has made some beautiful stuff for Simon.
And Sandra, I believe.
Very
I think
nice.
I've seen some. Yes, they're beautiful.
I was
Beautiful.
I just got a tablecloth for I got it mainly for my event on Sunday, but I've been using it on my coffee table. But I really need to iron it, Gerald. It's really bad. Like it was packaged up, all folded up, so it's on the table right now, and it's still got all those annoying greasy squares on it. And I was showing it to Giselle, and she's like, "Oh, Chris Hunt, just take an iron to it." But I was saying, it's got this plastic kind of a coating on it, and I'm not really sure if I'm supposed to iron it, but I'll need to put like a towel over it or
I
something
was
and
just to say, just put a towel on
give it
it.
an iron.
Don't use it. Don't use a really high heat.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
um, let's see. Thanks. I think those court cards might challenge me a bit, but workable over time.
Hmm.
Yeah. Uh, Hello, alien son. Um, right. Okay. Will we throw some cards for Jen and for oh gosh,
Fun boy.
Fun Boy? Let's
If they're
see.
still
So
here, yeah.
Jen's asked for a general. Let me just put it on the screen. I would love a general reading, please. And Jen did say, "Oh, if you're not doing readings, it's fine." But Jen, it's you, so we will absolutely
Yeah.
um do some readings just for you.
Oh, and Robin said that the back of the deck or the back has changed.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. This deck riffle shuffles like a dream, so it does. I'm hoping
Really?
that the new edition is the same. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Jen the Hermit was jumping out there.
Uh-oh. Somebody's getting ready to be hermiting.
Okay,
Do you want me to go first?
sure.
Okay.
I'll
See if we
actually
can do
I'm
this.
digging you.
Okay. Ooh. All right. So what I did is I have 3 cards for you. I have the first is death. So in this death card, eventually I will get this all clear. But the death card, well, you're entering fall, so things are actually dying and they're not going to be seen. So you're getting ready to go into the darker part of the year. It does feel like you're transforming things. All right, I don't know how to say it. I'll just say it. Jen, are you actually making some offerings for yourself and for your care and maybe for deities that you work with? Because that can be very transformative for you. Um, then I have the Knight of Cups, which is a lovely veterinarian taking care of a dog. Oh, and you just had a dog that had a birthday, I believe. Maybe that's the dog that is reminding you to take care of yourself and to get some hugs. Um, Eight of Wands, you need to be doing some coloring. You need to be getting some creativity, doing some things. Of course, I'm not Gerald. Um, You need to be getting this creativity out, because when the sun goes down, it's actually going to, you need this light that you're going to bring into it. This night could also be a person, I wonder. So, and hashtag because I'm an overcomplicator. Just remember that all of the hard work that you've done is worth it. It's been slow to build, so appreciate it, because you are dang worth it. And Two of Pentacles, stay balanced. Jen, here's a secret. If you stay balanced, you can do things for a longer period of time instead of going to extremes. Just saying. It works that way. That's what I have for you.
Very nice. So I've got, oh, we're very zoomed out now. Let me just zoom back in. I've got the Nine of Trees, the Three of Rivers, and the Magician. Nine of Trees. So it was interesting that the Hermit popped out when I was shuffling. The Hermit maybe suggests, there might be a period of time where you're just feeling not as connected as what you maybe usually do. Gerald's death card coming out first might be a bit of a suggestion as to why. It might just be that there's a lot going on around about you just now, Jen. You might just feel like you've got a lot, like things are changing around about you. It's almost like the goalposts are being moved. You've just got a lot to deal with. In my card, the way this has been demonstrated is we have this person who's, you know, she feels like she's stressing out. She feels like she's kind of um fretting a wee bit. We've got this kind of a depiction of the goddess on the tree, but do you see how it's at the other side of the tree than what she is? So it's almost like our inner goddess is hidden from her, or she feels like it's hidden from her. We've also got this kind of a golden bird up in the tree, but it's hiding in the branches. So it's as though like those kind of those amazing kind of special things are there, but it almost feels as though they're cut off a wee bit. And to see how kind of off in the distance we see this kind of a double-sided axe, and there's like this link from the tree, the water in the tree, to this kind of a structure over here. So this almost feels to me like all you can concentrate on right now is like this axe is going to fall at some point, and it almost feels like it's going to sever your connection to something. It's like you're waiting for something to happen, that you're almost like you feel as though you're dreading it, and it's like you kind of feel like in your moment of need, where are my guides? Why do I feel as though that like my inner goddess and my higher self are hiding from me? Um, so it's as though you're kind of a very much caught up in your head with this situation, and it might be because you're kind of almost seeing this, seeing the kind of a reality of this situation and what's about to happen. You know, the key though, and it's interesting that Gerald pulled the Knight of Cups because I've got the Three of Rivers, which is the equivalent of the Three of Cups. So it feels like the key is connection. The key lies in connection to other people, you know? So in order to have a spiritual experience, in order to connect to ourselves, the key isn't always to withdraw, to become an introvert, to distance yourself from everyone else. Going out and having a couple of drinks, having a really good time with some friends or with some family, that can be just as spiritual as an experience as what anything else can, and that can really open you up to being more connected. So maybe that is what's going to kind of open. It's going to make you feel your goddess and your higher self more available to yourself. Is just go out, feel those connections with those other people, and it's almost like you're letting go. You're letting go of the kind of the dread and the worry about what's to come. And to see how in the magician card it almost feels as though all of that stuff is opening up. You know, um, we actually see a bird in the sky right above the magician now, and the magician is like he's not just like kind of a pointing to the ground. He's actually rooted in the ground as well. So he's still channeling that energy in the same way that the magician traditionally does, but he's rooted right in that ground. He's wearing his colours on his mask. He's pinned his colours to the mast. He's wearing, you know, his emblems on himself. I think. Let me see. So this, I think, is a wishbone here. Um, and oh gosh, I'm not actually sure now. Is the magician just this wee person here? And is this just like an aura that's about him? I'm not sure. But it looks to
Hmm.
me like this is like a gown that he's wearing, and his legs are rooted in the ground. Um, but he's like kind of he's bringing that energy down and he's channeling it into creating this flower here. Um, so yeah, there's like I don't want you to fret too much because I feel as though things are going to open up for you. They are going to get better. I think the key though, like I say, is in connecting with other people and just kind of just opening yourself up a bit more.
Wow.
So I hope that resonated, Jen, and that it was helpful. Um, let's see.
Jen put a couple of comments in there.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get where you started reading, Gerald.
Where I started.
Kickstarters, because it's getting bloody cold.
Yeah, there we go. Keep
Of
going.
course, I'm not. And then creativity is very much on the horizon for an event. And
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, the death card could be quite literal. Um, with the balance, you know me too well, Gerald. Thank you. And then things are changing, but in a good way for the most part. Oh, heck yes, the waiting and the dreading
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense with the thing that you're dreading. Right, okay. Okay. Um, cool. Well, I hope that not just this, but I hope the other stuff was helpful as well, Jen.
Yeah.
Um, okay. And then we had one more. We had Fun Boy, and they have confirmed that they're here. So we will, let's see, here's your question here. So if possible, I would like about a reading about the outcome of accepting a job promotion. So I might switch up decks for this just because why
I
not?
am thinking the same thing. And by the way, Nancy, a Crohn's Intuition, is here. Hi, Nancy.
Hi Nancy, how are you? Oh, I've got a book.
I'm going to use a mini deck since I so that I could. I was like, oh, let's get it so I can see things. So
Nice.
I'm not accepting the job promotion. Fun Boy, have they offered you the promotion? Have you interviewed for it?
Okay. Fun Boy, is this promotion something that you've kind of went for because it's the right step for you, and because it's the next it's what you want to do? I want you to make sure that you're not being forced into this promotion because, like, maybe someone's left and they feel that they need someone to do it, and you're the logical next fit, and just make sure that you're sure that this is what you want.
Yeah.
Okay, is what I'll say, because that tower just suggests that things are happening very fast. It's like that lightning is coming in and changing up the situation almost
Mhm.
as though it's coming from nowhere, you know? And that lightning doesn't seem to be, differentiating between, it doesn't care how the people feel that it's hitting, and it does seem to be kind of it feels like quite a chaotic situation.
Hmm.
Okay, so if you have worked hard for this promotion and it's the right next step for you, it's what you want, deep down, and you're ready to go for it, then absolutely you be the fucking lightning and you go for it. You take that job promotion. All right. The Queen of Pentacles is the advice card here. That suggests to me that if you're going to do this, you need to be very attentive to it. So you see the Queen, she's got her attention
Hmm.
on her pentacle. Um, she's very much within her element. So she's the Queen of Earth and she's sitting out in the garden. If you take this promotion, if that is the way that it goes, it's going to take a lot of time and energy from you. And that's not to say that you're not going to, you're not going to thrive within that and that you're not going to enjoy it, because the Queen is very much, she is where she loves to be. She is never happier than when she's in this garden. But
Hmm.
it does take a lot from her. Now, the outcome, this was the question that you asked, what is the outcome? Um, if I take the job promotion, the outcome card that you've got is the Seven of Swords. Okay. It suggests to me that it's going to be a lot for you. It suggests to me that you might be tempted to take on more than what you maybe really should, which we all do when we kind of we're trying to prove ourselves. When we first take a promotion, that we take on a lot. We try and prove ourselves. We try and prove that we're almost worthy of the job that we've stepped into. And it's sometimes it's like you've got to question, like, who am I proving this to? Am I trying to prove this to them, or am I proving it to myself? Um, Sometimes we need to be careful in that Seven of Swords energy, because look at how he's holding the swords. Like he's not holding them in the best way. He's going to end up getting cut. He's already dropped two of the swords. So
Yeah.
it's like he's doing his best. He's doing the best with the situation that he's got. But maybe with a wee bit of problem solving, there's another way that you could tackle the problem. So, in terms of the outcome, I think that you might be tempted to. It's almost like self-sacrifice is a bit dramatic, but it's almost just like you're kind of almost. Um, you are like your own well-being is being put in the back burner in
Hmm.
order to get the job done.
Yeah.
Um, and again, like that's natural when we're trying to prove ourselves when we step into a new role. But you just need to make sure that you are kind of looking after yourself as well at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point? You know?
Funboy did
Sorry,
share.
Gerald.
Yeah, no, Funboy just shared. Just applied. It's only advertised today, so it's a brand new position for which they've applied, and so yeah.
Yeah, it says that guy's having a tough time with those swords. He
Mhm.
is, he is. But this is a card about problem solving. So this is someone who, he knows that he can't take the enemy on head on. So he's snuck into their encampment to steal their swords in the dead of night. He's disarmed them, so as that when he does come to have that conflict, he's in a better position to win because he's disarmed the enemy first.
Yeah.
So he's gone about it in a kind of a crafty way. Um, but like I say, it's just about, is he going to hurt himself in doing so?
Hmm.
So, Gerald, what's your thoughts?
Debbie Aquarius Owl is here.
Oh, hi, Debbie.
All right. So what I have for you, fun boy, is I'm using the Tear of Oneness. First card I have for you is the Ten of Pentacles, and this is very much a card of you have a lot of resources around and available to you. If you're thinking about a job, it's going to be something I would encourage you to. You're going to be inheriting a lot of the things that the other people have done, were supposed to have done, or have not done. Suddenly going to be your responsibility. Um, it is going to cause you to, um, if it's a promotion at the same place that you've been, It's very much a you're going to no longer be a coworker, you're going to be a supervisor if it's a promotional opportunity like that. So you're going to have more responsibility. So some of the things, because Chris, you were talking about some of the things that you were thinking about and worrying about are going to be, um, they're going to definitely be present. Um, but you do have, this is the action of swords. This is a great card because this is the Knight of Swords. You're going to have to be careful of not going in too boldly and just crashing everything down. Go in and make sure that um, you pause before you take action. Finish thinking it through, because if it's a promotion, new opportunities, new information really does give you the opportunity to learn to do a lot of things, but it could also be you could be making some mistakes. Learn from them. That's a really key thing. So let us know, fun boy. I'm curious for you.
Yeah,
So
good luck. Either
yeah.
way, I hope it turns out well.
Hmm.
Cool. Well, that was an interesting wee spin. Um, are you still feeling up to
Yeah. Yeah.
doing the reading and reading for each other and
If you are, I am.
Oh, definitely. Cool. Okay, so the reading that I've got, the spread that I've got for us folks, it's a 6 card spread. It's actually called the Marseille Mystery Spread, but you don't need to use a Marseille deck um to read this. And what this spread does is it lets you use it if you've got like a particular situation and you want to see what the outcome is going to be. But it's good if you want to see what is the outcome going to be if I am passive and I don't do anything and take no action, and versus what is the outcome going to be if I get involved, get my hands dirty, take actual active steps in order to kind of build towards what's going to happen. So it kind of lets you see two sides of the coin. So yeah, that's the spread that we're looking at. For anyone who does have the Total Tarot subscription, it's from part 8. Um, so I am going to be reading for Gerald, and Gerald is going to be reading for me.
Yep.
I am going to be using the Raven's Prophecy Tarot
Hmm.
by Maggie Stavata. What deck are you using, Gerald?
You have a choice: the Tarot of Oneness or the Mind's Eye Tarot. Have you seen the Mind's Eye?
Uh, oh, I've seen some cards from it.
Or I could use the Light Seers. But do you like the Light Seers?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
So
Let me see. I think you should choose Gerald.
all right, I'm going to do the Tarot of Oneness because I'm definitely loving the Tarot of Oneness these days.
Okay.
I blame Richie. So
I want to say hello to Bora Bora 333, who's just popped in. Says hi, Chris and Gerald, and hi everyone.
yes.
Um, Tony's got to leave us for tonight, but she's going to catch up tomorrow and post in the group. So looking forward to that. So is everyone else joining us? Who else is going to be reading with us, and what decks are you using? Let us know.
Yeah, would be cool. Don't let us just be the only ones reading, because we could be here all night if that happens. Just one more round.
Sonique Tarot is here. Hi, Sonique. How you doing?
Hello.
Debbie's
W
going to be reading with us.
Stoller Tarot.
Yeah. Kristen is giving it a go. I'm using the Rain Shadow Tarot. Oh, Kristen, I forgot to say. So, you know how, Gerald, when I've done roundtable readings before, I've always used the soul cards to pull a card from at the
Yes.
start.
Uh-huh.
So, I'm making a wee change to that for when I'm doing my in-person readings. I'm not going
Uh-huh.
to use soul cards. I'm actually going to be using Kristen's deck because
Ooh.
the idea behind using that is to give the querents something to focus on when they are shuffling. And I think soul cards is good for that. You know, it's quite an abstract and ethereal image, and it's a nice kind of an image to just meditate on and or hone in on when you're just kind of a shuffling, and it kind of a gets you out of your head and stops you thinking about the motion of shuffling, and it almost just lets it become like a natural thing that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Kristen's deck is also fantastic for that, I've discovered.
Nice.
But also, what's great is it obviously has those beautiful keywords on it, and it has those stunning images as well.
They're really good
But it's
images,
got the
yes.
keywords, and so they're really good for kind of a giving an overall general feel as to how the reading, what is the reading talking about type thing. Um, so
Nice.
I'm so excited, and I wanted to tell you, but I've already used it for a few people, and it's worked really well.
Oh, good.
Um, so yeah,
See, there you
just
go,
wanted to let you know.
Kristen. You've got you people are using your deck in the wild. Yay.
Yeah.
Gotta feel really good
Okay.
as a creator.
Right, Gerald. In fact, fuck it. Well, I'll go get it and we'll do it for this.
Okay. Dun dun
Sorry,
dun.
bear with. I'm just grabbing it off the coffee table.
Because he's had it out and about because he's been doing stuff with it. And by
I
the way,
sure have.
Tony taunted us earlier saying that there is the rumor has it is there's going to be a mini deviant moon coming out.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So
That'll be cool.
yeah, I'm not sure I need another copy of the Deviant Moon with my other 5 or 6.
If you get 5 copies of
I've got a lot of copies of it.
it.
Well, I mean it's great reading. So,
Yeah,
but I do
that's
like me a
cool.
mini. If they put it in a tin and if they were to put it on linen cardstock, I'd be all over it. So
Right, Gerald. Your card is. Oh, this is stunning. This is one of my favourite cards in the deck. Arcano, Healing.
mm, okay, nice.
Beautiful, beautiful card.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so let's see what comes up. So, like I said, it's a 6 card spread, and the idea is we use this spread to read for like a particular situation. Um, so I suppose I should have asked Gerald, have you got a particular question that you want to use this spread to read for, or are you just wanting to kind of leave it unsaid and see what comes up?
I'm going to leave it unsaid and see what comes up. What about you?
I will follow your lead then. I'll do the same.
Well, okay. Now,
Well,
don't come on, Chris.
actually,
Be
come on,
ballsy.
Chris.
Be
Come on,
different.
Gerald. um, okay. Well, I will. Let me see.
Only if you're comfortable with sharing.
Yeah, yeah. So let me. So I'm trying to think of kind of a question that'd be good for the spread. So okay, my career right now, my career, my place, and my workplace, um, has the potential to go in different directions right now. Let's say, there's
Mhm,
lots changing around about me, and
mhm.
I've got myself into a place where I'm doing lots to develop myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose I'd be interested to see what kind of options the cards, what do the cards think about, my different options depending on what I do with my career.
Okay. Well, and we could say for me, um, I've got some creative endeavors that are bubbling in the underneath. So we could say if I keep going on this trajectory, or if I lean into those creative things. Is that clear as mud?
Yeah. So creative, and say it again so that I can just
Creative
kind of clear
endeavors.
in my head. Uh-huh.
Keep doing what I'm doing, or do something new. Do something
Okay.
different.
Okay.
Okay. And Debbie asks, just a random question for everyone. Shuffle and draw every card in order, or shuffle between each position? And Sunique said, I shuffle in between each card, draw Aquarius out. What do you do?
Okay. I shuffle and then I take from the deck. I don't shuffle it in between each card pool. I can understand why people would do that though, because for me, I've seen all the spread positions and I know what they all are.
Uh huh.
So I've kind of got them in mind when I'm shuffling. Whereas I think if I didn't know what I was doing with the spread, I, I would probably kind of want to know, like, it's almost like I want to be telling the deck what the next position is whilst
Yeah.
I'm shuffling and then pulling for it. Do you know what I mean? So I get it, but I'm very much I'll shuffle it and then that's it shuffled. That's it in the right order for me.
And what's
Um,
the first card signify? Card position.
so the first card is the querent's personality. So it says rather than represent the whole of the querent's personality, this card symbolises the aspects of their character that are most pertinent to the situation. So everything that a person does brings to light an attitude or a particular, I lost my place, particular part of the self. If the card is from the major arcana, it indicates that personality is a key factor in understanding the situation, the problems faced, and the possible solutions and outcomes. And I just wanted to say, Liz is using the Tarot of Oppositions.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you want yours
Thank
first?
you, Robin. Yeah, on you go.
This is the Ace of Wands.
Nice.
I think. Oh, I'm getting good chills. The as you are going to be someone who, whatever you do with your job, you are going to do it fully and completely and as best as possible. You're going to get motivated, and it's going to inspire you. You're going to figure out how to make it work for you, and you're going to allow your personality to shine through it, is what I would say.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Nice.
And I also think, and I would also say, Chris, you're probably going to you you would probably inspire people around you in ways that they were not expecting. It's an ace, and this feels very much like it's going to seep out. Other people are going to start being also inspired. So
Nice. Okay. Thank you. So it's funny, Gerald, you've got something quite similar actually. So you've got the King of Wands as your card, and this is depicted here by the by antlers, you know. So experience is what this card says to me, just because of these kind of a the big antlers. So this isn't someone this isn't a newly kind of a, adolescent deer or something.
Hmm.
This is a deer that's been around a long time, that's kind of that's honed their craft, that really knows what they're doing. It's someone with a lot of character and charisma. And when I'm saying this is someone, I'm obviously talking about you here, because these are the aspects of your personality.
Hmm.
Um, when it comes to your creativity, you are one of the most creative persons that I know, Gerald. And you can turn your hand to more things than I think that I know anyone else who can. You're very, very gifted and talented,
Thank you.
in terms of, creativity. Um, and I think that's, whatever you end up doing, whether it's continuing on your current creative endeavors or, turning to something a bit different, I think that, that that creative side of you is going to be key, I
Hmm.
think.
That's cool.
Um, and the antlers feel a wee bit feisty as well. Like the
Hmm.
antlers are the bit that kind of make you a bit wary. Like when I walk the dogs through the graveyard, there's often deer in the
Hmm.
graveyard. And I'm always a wee bit more wary when it's a deer that's got like antlers, because I'm like,
Yes.
oh, if they get too close, they could hurt one of the dogs.
Yes. Yes.
So I feel like that you've obviously got like a sassy, feisty side to yourself.
Hmm.
So I feel that that's important here as well. So bear that in mind. Okay.
That makes sense. Yes.
Now Debbie from Aquarius Hill has the death card. So
Mm.
Debbie, I feel like that's like it's like it's your inner Scorpio. I know you're an Aquarius, right? But everyone has an inner Scorpio. Um, you probably have this ability to just approach things that maybe other people might hesitate to approach. Sometimes the death cards, when it's signifying a person, it's someone who's not scared to talk about the taboo. They're not scared to say things that other people might hesitate to say.
Hmm.
So whatever question it is that you've got for this spread, Debbie, I feel as though that kind of say it straight, say it how it is. Um, don't pull your punches, that type of thing. I feel as though that's quite key for you with the death
Hmm.
cards.
Yeah.
And there's the whole transformation and change kind of a side of it as well. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, Robin has got the Queen of Coins, nourishing achievement,
Yep.
very nice. Kristen has the Three of Wands, expansive, broad-minded, big dreamer, and planner.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, and you've probably already got some things on the go, Kristen. I don't know,
Yeah.
can't remember what deck you were using, but quite often that Three of Wands, someone is looking out at the stuff that they've already set in motion. You know,
Hmm.
so you'll probably find that you've maybe got some stuff that that already pertains to what it is what you're doing, or what it is that you're
Yeah.
talking about. You've maybe already got a wee bit of a plan on the go, a bit of a half-baked plan that you can actually bring
Hmm.
into play. So have a think about that. Have a think about the stuff that's already around about you.
Nice.
Um,
The
Kristen says
traveler
I've got
aspect.
three
Yeah.
inner Scorpios.
There you go. Yes. Three inner Scorpios. Well, there you go. Hmm.
Yeah, nice. Okay, position two. Um, so how the querent deals with the situation. Card 2 indicates the way in which the querent is currently prepared to tackle the situation. It answers the questions: what is the querent's goal in these circumstances, and how are they looking at the situation? So, a major arcana card would suggest that the querent's approach is particularly significant. I don't know why they keep saying, oh, the major arcana would be. I feel like the majors and the minors are kind of are both important. I don't know why we keep stressing
Yeah.
about the.
Yeah. because they want the
But anyway,
exclamation point and it all in capital letters. So,
yeah,
Chris, I got the Two of Swords for you.
okay,
So the way you approach this is very logically. You're actually, I wouldn't be surprised if you have a spreadsheet thinking about this, something to help you balance the numbers and to understand it. Do you? Okay. I didn't know if you were laughing or, but I would like good. So, but there's a weighing, carefully weighed options. And whereas oftentimes the Two of Swords we would see blindfolded, you don't do that blindfolded. You do it with your eyes wide open so that you can go, okay, this fits here, this fits there, this fits here, this fits there. This one's going to sit on the table for a little bit because I don't have enough information to understand it. So
yeah.
you're also, it's also a balancer. So are you like an accountant or something like that where you weigh things carefully?
I am so I work in insurance. I'm a claims handler.
Okay. Okay.
So there's a bit of like dealing with numbers in it.
Yes.
But I'm not an accountant though.
Okay. So there is definitely a weighing and a balance of this. And so how you approach the situation is you're going to do it very logically. You're not going to let your emotions, well, with this, I would encourage you to allow your emotions to sit at the table but not drive the car. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
it does.
It's like you're going to take the dogs out for a walk. Each of them are going to have their leashes, and they're going to follow your directions. But you don't want them to just run off without leashes and just go sort of woohoo, because you're not going to get to where you need to go, and they could end up harmed because of the deer.
Yeah, yeah, true. Oh, that's great. And you're absolutely right. I do have spreadsheets on the go. Um, and those spreadsheets have got passwords on them, and they've got like tables, and I can
Hmm.
sort them and see all the data.
Yep.
Um, so yep, yep,
Well, and
definitely a wee spreadsheet.
this is a very powerful thing to but that is a powerful thing. And Chris, it would be helpful for you to remember to allow the cups to show up at the swords table every once in a while, just to see what's going on. So get your emotions in.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Brilliant. Thank you.
hmm.
Okay, so for you, you've got temperance.
Oh,
Okay. So how you're approaching the situation, it looks like currently you're straddling both worlds. You're
yep.
trying to get a feel for, right, okay, well, what will happen if I keep going on the route that I'm on? But also, I kind of want to dip my toe in the water and find out what will happen if I change it up a bit and do something different.
Hmm.
So it's almost like your approach, what you're considering doing is trying out both.
Hmm.
Okay, try to get a balance. And kind of like it's interesting because we both started out with wands cards, we both started out with fire cards, and then for me, both the Two of Swords and Temperance are both cards about kind of about balance. And
Yes.
you know, the Two Swords are, it's like kind of a straddling both sides and looking at both sides of the situation.
Hmm.
Temperance is literally sitting in both of those worlds.
Yep.
One foot in the water, one foot out. Here we kind of see this kind of almost like a serene, calm, um, like water drop type
Hmm.
thing. Um, so, and just looking at these two cards together, we've got the very fiery element of the wands, and then this is like temperance is typically a fire card as well. Actually, it's Sagittarius, but
Uh-huh.
It's a very watery representation of that card. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, I feel like your approach, the way you're planning to approach it, Gerald, is to find out for yourself what both sides have got to offer you before you make a decision.
That is completely me, because I'm like going, well, what are the options? What's it look like over here? Yeah, that makes a
Yeah,
lot of sense.
yeah, cool. Robin's got so I had to go back to your original um because you've got Q of C, which to me looks like Queen of Cups, but it's Queen of Coins. So Queen of Coins and then the Strength card, firm, supportive, care. Okay, cool. Um, so I'm trying to think. I'm trying to picture both of those cards in front of me, Robin.
Well, I would also say that the strength, this is a strength year. So as you are, is the approaching the situation, you're 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 giving this a lot of attention. I mean, you're weighing it very heavily. So, of course, it's a major arcana.
Yeah, yeah, and you get a major too, Gerald.
Hmm. Yep.
Kristen has the Three of Pentacles. Another three, hone my skills with the help of others.
Mm.
And then says she's got to go because they're having dinner.
Have
So
fun.
we'll come back and watch it later. Um, Debbie has got the Two of Wands. Um, so okay, cool. So your approach, Debbie, is kind of like ours. Yours is to plan and mind map and plan things out and almost kind of a build that space for yourself. So that's quite cool. The third position is the present. So this card represents the situation itself. It should be interpreted as a starting point from which all possible future scenarios may emerge.
Hmm. I have Action of Swords. So
Oh,
this card is say that again. What is it again? The
so the present,
present.
it represents the situation itself.
Yep.
It should be interpreted as a starting point from which all possible future scenarios may emerge.
And so this is this card is you're having to take action. They're trying to make some choices at work about things. They're trying to move some things forward. I'm also curious as well. You're already. I mean, this is actually you. You're doing exactly what you need to do. You're analyzing it. So you're uh, you're actually, Chris. You're in the moment. You're actually trying to ride it as quickly as you can and stay ahead of the curve because you don't like to be left behind. So it's feeling very much like a you're rushing to keep up with all of the new information that you have. So
Nice. Thank you.
does that make sense to you?
It does. That's a really cool card.
It
So
is.
it is. It's quite different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gerald, for you, you've got the Eight of Wands. So you've got your arrows flying through the air. So the present and the place that you're working from, it almost feels like there's lots of things in motion. And you're kind of you might actually be feeling pressure to make a quick decision on this
Mm-hmm.
because it feels like, things are already set in motion. These arrows are flying at you whether you like it or not.
Yep.
So there's maybe a wee bit of pressure to decide, right, what am I doing? I need to decide now, otherwise I'm going to be letting people down, or you know, there's a bit of it feels like there's a bit of pressure there.
Yep.
The moon is also depicted behind the arrows.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I feel that where you are, I want you to make sure that you're seeing the situation as it truly is.
Yep.
Remember, the moon is a beautiful thing,
Hmm.
um, and it's a powerful thing that we as people on the earth are strongly linked to. But we can't trust everything that we see with our two eyes when we see it in the moonlight.
Yep.
Okay, the moon doesn't accurately show things up.
Yep.
Um, people's when you see people in moonlight, that they're more so than in sunlight. They're very kind of there's part of them is silhouetted. They've got it
Hmm.
really brings out the kind of a shadow side and the light side.
Yep.
So it brings out the kind of that duality
Yes.
in people and in situations. So I want you to bear that in mind when you're looking at this situation and seeing all these arrows flying at you and thinking, "Oh shit, I need to
Hmm.
act now, otherwise forever hold my peace."
Yeah.
Take another look. A second look often pays off. It might not actually be as urgent as what you feel like it is.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's what I'll say for your present.
That makes sense.
Cool. Excellent. I'm really struck by, so see those two, the two of swords and the action of swords,
Hmm.
like both. I mean, this spread is all about, like, you know, is it one way, or is it one way? Is it this option or is it the other? You know,
Hmm.
this is all about thinking about out your options.
Yep.
The two of swords really hones in on the two options that are available.
Hmm.
And then in the action, it's like the bit that's highlighted is the middle ground.
Yep.
And I know that's maybe not necessarily I'm maybe not actually seeing what's depicted there, but it's almost like there is this duality, but it's the bit in the middle that has the flag on it, and
Yeah.
that's kind of where your focus is drawn.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, it makes me think as though whether right now am I focusing maybe a wee bit too much on, like, what I'm doing and where I am now. Should I be focusing more on, right, where are my current actions leading me to, i.e., the two doors? What is behind both of these doors? It's
Hmm.
not just about what you're doing in the moment. You need to play the long game and think, right, where is this actually taking me? Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Well, and part of it is you're, it feels like you're trying to stay up to date with everything that is changing. There's a lot
Mhm.
of different things going on, and the
Yeah,
value of it for you is to recognize, okay, maybe, I mean, you don't check your email when you're at home, do you?
my work emails, no,
Yes.
no, I
Okay.
don't.
Okay. So I think it's one of those things. It's like you're trying to stay. You're trying to ride it as currently as you can.
Mm,
Okay. We'll see what the next cards are.
we will. So card four is the passive future. The passive future. So the fourth card points towards the most likely future outcome if the querent decides to do nothing and passively accept whatever happens. Okay,
Hmm.
so the passive future.
Did you want to look at the other comments that people put in about card
Oh,
3?
sorry. Yeah, thank you for the reminder. So card three was the present, and Liz got the Empress.
Mm,
Okay, so Liz, you're in a place of creativity right now.
yeah.
Um, the Empress upright. She's clarified. So okay, let me see. I don't think we saw your card too, Liz, but your first card was the Seven of Cups. Um, so okay, lots of choices going on there. And if the Seven of Cups is your personality aspect, then to me that's your ability to almost create this world, to almost see where it is that you want to be. It's like a card of like kind of imagination and fantasy. So you have this ability to kind of you know, how, like, people talk about manifestation, and
Hmm.
the different levels of, the different ways of methods of manifestation. So you've got
Yes.
like kind of a vibration. You've also got like the law of assumption, where you can kind of project yourself into the part of the multiverse that where you do have that thing that you want or whatever it is. So you have a really strong kind of imagination for that. And given that the Empress is your present, that tells me that your creative prowess, your creative kind of energies right now are at their prime. So whatever it is that you want to get to, whatever you want to be, that to me, you have a really strong ability to get yourself there. I'm not sure what your second card was, but
The
just
Five
based
of
on those two
Cups.
cards alone, the
Second
Five
card
of
was the
Cups.
Five of Cups.
Right,
So
okay, okay. So we're really feeling the feels there, aren't we?
yeah, yeah.
Very watery reading for you so far.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. Um, so Queen of Pentacles for Debbie.
Being practical.
Okay, so Debbie's saying be practical. Yeah. But, so the Queen of Pentacles, again, in fact, no, you told me what deck you were using, Debbie.
Stoller.
Sorry, Gerald
The Stoller.
Stoller, right? It's
Yeah.
not a deck that I know. Yeah, when I'm doing this quite often, I'm going back and forth between the comments to try and grasp all of the information that I'm wanting.
I understand.
Um, okay, okay. So the Queen of Pentacles, or all of the queens, I guess, but particularly Pentacles, it's like you're in the environment, the environment that you need, um, in order to kind of get to where you want to be, I guess. Um,
And the Queen of Pentacles is going to be practical and patient,
mm,
to allow things to come to fruition in their own time. However, I mean, practical, and sometimes you just gotta clear stuff out so that things can grow. So
yeah, definitely. Look at Robin's reading. So the Queen of Coins, Strength, and then the Knight of Coins. So making accomplishments and achievements happen.
mm,
Wow. So you've got two consecutive cards there,
yeah.
Robin.
Oh my gosh.
And that's the Queen of Pentacles has come up for Debbie as well. So the coins are, they're really playing the game today, I guess.
They are.
Um, so for, oh, okay, so we've not done our passive futures yet, have we?
Nope.
So the fourth card is the passive future. So you want to go first, Gerald?
Yeah. I have the 10 of Wands. So the passive future, this is, the 10 of Wands is about carrying a lot of things, making sure it could be yours, it could not be yours. It's exhaustion. This card, when it shows up, I usually see it as, be careful that you are not being deceived, that somebody is not don't deceive yourself that doing this thing is going to be all rainbows and fairy tales, because it's not.
Mm,
It's going to be what it is, and it's still going to be a
yeah,
lot of work. It could be emotionally and physically draining, and yeah, if you come home and you may not want to play the piano because you're too tired and you need that creativity to charge you, which is interesting because this is the 10 of Wands reversed, and the first card that we had is the Ace of Wands. There's huge opportunities for you. But this
Yeah.
is it's a draining rather than a rewarding.
Yeah. And that is what happens if I don't take the bull by the horns and
Hmm.
actually be active and involved in what's happening.
Yeah,
If I just kind of surrender control and just let shit happen around about me, Ten of Wands reversed, that real kind of feeling of burden and oppression and
yeah.
just things going out of control. Things get just going away from me.
Hmm.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah, and I like this representation because it is somebody pulling a boulder up and continuing to
Yeah,
pull that boulder up. It's like that's exhausting.
yeah. It's what's interesting is when you turn the card upside down, not only are you trying to pull a weight up, but that weight is going to it's almost going to become a pendulum,
Oh
and you're
yeah,
now responsible for being that pendulum's anchor. You
yes.
know, so it's like not only is your world being turned upside down, but now you've got this kind of a heavy weight that it's your job to
Mhm.
keep it up.
Yes.
Um, so yeah,
Oh, and
I
that makes
think that.
sense. Yeah, because if that's the passive future, then all of these things that may not be in your job description are now going to be your responsibility, and there's no compensation for that work
Hmm,
just because you've done it
yeah,
because you want to get stuff done.
yeah. Okay. So for your passive future, Gerald, you've got the strength card.
Mm,
So this is bearing in mind this is your creative endeavors, and you're kind of a two. The way you were looking at this are as about whether you continue with the kind of as things currently are with your
hmm.
creative endeavors as they currently are planned, I guess,
Hmm.
or do you change it up and do something different? So for me, this is the kind of a stay the course, continue as things currently are. You know, you're not taking active. Am I reading that situation right, or would
You
you see
are,
that a
you
bit
are.
differently?
It's basically it's grab onto it and don't veer off.
Yeah.
Stick with it.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
perfect sense.
Yeah. Like the strength card is about fortitude. You know,
Hmm.
um, that was what it used to be called, the fortitude card.
Yeah.
So it's not just about having strength. It's not about flexing. It's not all about like look at my big muscles. It, you need to strength is about strength, but it's the wisdom of how to apply that strength at the
I
same
agree.
time.
Yes.
So we don't swat a fly with a sledgehammer, but at the same time we don't do it with a feather either.
Yes.
You know,
Hmm.
we don't need to swat flies at all. To be fair, we can just let them out the
Yes.
window.
Yes. Yes.
There's no need to be cruel, but
Hmm.
to use a horrible expression, um, it's about having the wisdom of how to apply your strength.
Yep.
Um, Wonder why that's coming up for the passive future though.
I think
Quite
it has to
interesting.
do. I also see. First of all, it is a strength year.
Hmm.
And for me, strength also represents perseverance. Just stick with it, stay the course, stay the course, stay the course, which is exactly what the path to future is. Just stay the course. So
Okay.
I don't know if that made sense to you. It did to me.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Cool. Okay. Let's have a wee quick look. So let's see. Yeah, Liz, it says the second card was the Five of Cups and it was in reverse.
Hmm.
Okay, so let's see your approach to whatever your question is. So the Five of Cups in reverse for me is so the Five of Cups can be quite an emotional card. It's when you're kind of going through that phase where you're maybe feeling the more negative side of the emotions, but
Yeah.
if it's reversed, then you're blocked. You're blocking yourself in that place, so you're not letting yourself have the relief of the six. The six is where we kind of we take ourselves back to a simpler time, and it has a healing effect on, you know, on whatever it is that we're feeling in the five. But it's almost like you're blocking yourself in that grief and that pain. Um, and I suppose it's so your approach to the situation. Well, if I'd got that for someone, then I would be questioning. Do you think that how you're planning to approach this problem, do you think it's the most healthy? Do you
Hmm.
think that it's the best way to serve yourself?
Yeah.
Um, or is there maybe another way that you can kind of go about this?
Yeah.
Because if, it's almost like being a martyr, isn't it? Like,
Hmm.
uh, it's that like when you're kind of a when you're letting yourself feel that pain when there's another route available to you,
Yeah. It's only focusing on the negative stuff and wallowing instead of actually looking around and seeing that there are some other ways to feel, perhaps.
Yeah. Okay. Debbie, Aquarius also Death, Two of Wands, Queen of Pence, and then the Page of Swords. Okay, so your passive future. If you take a step back and don't take any action, then there's potentially actually a new beginning in there for you, or some
Hmm.
sort of kind of a new experience, new learning experience.
Yeah.
Maybe seeing things in a different way. It might throw you. It might feel a wee bit like the rug being pulled up out from under you, though, because if
Yes.
you're present as the Queen of Pentacles and then doing nothing, it almost feels like you're being demoted or something. You're kind of taking a step back to being the page.
Hmm.
Um, so it might feel like it's like a bit of a, like I say, a bit of a demotion, but at the same time, it might that being thrust into that sword space might let you see things in a slightly different way, and it might open you up to having new experiences.
Yeah.
Robin has the Knight of Swords. So Robin's bringing the court cards today.
It really is.
The
Wow.
action of understanding and communicating. Cool. Okay.
And he's had
So
back to
it's
back.
interesting because that knight is a very active card, isn't it?
Hmm.
So, and this is in the position of the passive future. So it's almost like it's almost like um, you're on the wrong train, and what you need to do is take action and maneuver yourself off of that train.
Hmm.
But if you stay passive, if you don't get off that train, then the doors are going to shut and the train's going to take off, and you're going to be being pulled through the tunnels at breakneck speed. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so it's almost like you're being forced into action, almost by not taking action. You're then going to be forced into a place where everything's moving at high speed.
Hmm.
That was a stupid analogy, but
No.
it was what first came to my mind, so it
Yeah.
was. So I'm sticking with it.
There you go.
Um, let's see. So Liz says, "I know what you mean. I can get very dark at times." Kristen's back.
Hi, Kristen.
So Three of Wands, Three of Pence, Page of Cups. Oh, and the Devil for the passive future. Oh, Kristen. Oh, so right, Page of Cups for your present, and the Devil for your. So the Page of Cups suggests that you're in a place of innocence, um, maybe in a place of a bit of naivety,
Yep.
which is fine, which is great. We all love like kind of a being innocent, and not having to deal with the big bad world. We all love kind of a being able to be immature and being able to get away with it. But at some point, we almost need to kind of put our big person pants on
Yep.
and go out and face the big bad world and gain those worldly experiences.
Hmm.
Otherwise, what can happen is we can end up just falling into the um we can be led by other people, and I feel like that's where maybe the devil comes in. Like if you don't start getting actively involved and maybe gaining a wee bit of kind of a wee bit of savvy, then that you might find yourself being easily led by someone,
Yeah.
or just kind of a falling into a bit of a falling into a group, or falling into a particular way that you didn't choose.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the devil's like a perversion of the lover's card, isn't it? Like, well, in some decks it is.
Mhm.
Certainly, the Waite Smith deck, it's like a well, actually, if we're being fair, the lovers is a perversion of the devil because the devil, Waite didn't change the devil. The devil was always how it was. It was the lovers that he changed, and he used the devil card as inspiration. If you think about the Marseille,
Oh,
he changed the lovers, not the devil.
okay.
So it's really it's the other way about. But if we're thinking about it in these terms, if the lovers card is about choice and the devil is almost like the reverse of that card, it's the shadow side of that. It's a perversion of it. It's almost like you're surrendering choice.
Hmm.
And where does that leave you? That leaves you being in chains. That leaves you kind of almost being
Yes.
surrendered. You've surrendered your will to someone else.
Yes. Well,
Um,
it also the devil also allows you to get lazy and to not use your brain. It removes you being engaged, and you just sort of wander around. It's like, ugh. So
yeah,
so
that's um, that's in keeping with what Kristen's actually said. She says the devil might
mm,
refer to being hampered by my fixations, maybe social media.
could be,
There you go.
could be.
The next card is the active future. So, in contrast to the preceding cards, this reveals the future most likely to happen if the querent decides to act and affect the situation in some way. Often, this will stem from the influence of the querent as expressed by the first two cards on the situation. The cards might also suggest outcomes that affect the querent and those around them. So, the active future.
I I love this because for the active future, I have life force energy, and so the active
Right,
future, and I don't know if you can see that, but it's not going to get clear enough. But right here, there's you can actually see spider webs in between the
right,
trees, and the fact the active future, it's you being fully engaged and feeling really connected and part of rather than things being done to you.
right.
It
Yeah,
also feels very much like you would be able to go into the rhythms of what's going on and actually honor the all right, it feels like you could honor the natural cycle of things and allow that to benefit everyone. So um so the active future, I mean, Chris, I'd go with part two. I mean, because with the life force energy, that feels really good, especially with the because you're already doing it. You're carefully looking at things, but
yeah,
and so that gives you the ability to have a very informed choice.
yeah.
And it
That's a
actually,
beautiful card.
yeah, it is a beautiful card. I would also say, Chris, it gives you the ability to make things better, not just for yourself, but for everyone involved. Everyone else could be touched. So everyone else
Yeah.
could benefit.
Okay.
That's cool.
Okay. I like that. Is
Hmm.
that like just an extra card in the deck, Jeremy?
It is. It's an extra card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's like four extra cards in it, and they're quite lovely. So I would call this one Life Force Energy. I would call that card 23 if I were to number it.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
can you see
Really
that?
nice. Yeah, it's such a stunning image.
It and when Robin was on talking about this is she actually took the picture that inspired this. She was with her kids
Ah,
and they were on a
yeah.
trip. They pulled over and they went to a park and she took this photo.
Yeah,
So really, really beautiful.
it is. Just feels so
Hmm.
magical and peaceful at the same
Yes.
time. What
And
is that at the foot of the tree? Is that like a candle or something?
I think it's just, I think they're lights. Just
Right.
s- sh- um, s- drops of sunspots,
Oh
perhaps.
no, so I'm meaning, so see, it might just be part of the tree, but at the, yeah, that one, that looks like a red candlestick to me. But is that just
Okay.
part of the tree?
I think it's just, I'm of a certain age, so of course I have, this. It is, well, it does look like it's, um, could be a staff or something.
Right. Okay.
So there you go.
Well, that's beautiful either way.
Hmm.
Nice. Right. For your active future, you've actually got, oh, sorry, let me switch these round. You've got this Seven of Cups.
Okay. God, of course. Sorry, that was my out loud gasping. Oh,
Yeah. So what do I want to say about this?
be blunt.
I don't want it to.
Be blunt. I'm an adult. I trust you.
It feels like a clusterfuck,
Yep.
right? It
Too
feels
many
like there's a
things.
shitload of stuff going on. I think what I think if you right, if you say to yourself, right, that's it, right, we're doing this, I'm making this change. And if you were to say, I'm making this change and I'm letting all of this other stuff go, the stuff that I need to let go in order to do this, I'm going to kind of put that to one side or let that go for now or whatever, and I'm going to focus on this new direction, then I think you would be fine. But this feels like, actually, no, you're not going to do that. What it feels like is like, remember what I was saying is the temperance card? It's like you're
Hmm.
straddling both.
Yep.
I kind of feel like you're just going to try and like stretch yourself and stretch
Yep.
yourself and stretch yourself, and you'll get yourself to a point where you're like, yeah, you're taking on this new stuff, but at the same time, you're still trying to do
Yep.
everything that you were doing before.
Hmm.
I feel like if you know the way you've termed it as, should I stay the course or should I go in a whole new direction? In actual fact, that Gerald, I feel as though you're almost going to be splitting yourself in two, so that
Yep.
you're doing the both things at once.
Yep.
And I don't feel like that's going to be the thing that best serves you, because
Yep.
there's actually like, there's potentially some danger in this card.
Yep.
Now, I'm not one to read snakes as danger, but there is a snake here,
Hmm.
and it's not immediately obvious that it's there. There's also these big kind of a beaked birds, and maybe the snake is the one that's in danger. Um, there's some shiny things that might attract us towards them. It just like a clusterfuck. That's what it feels like to me.
Yep.
It doesn't feel organized, which is how I know that you like to be. It doesn't feel like a particularly um, enjoyable space that I feel
Yeah.
that you would appreciate.
Hmm.
Whereas if we're kind of staying with what you're doing just now, it feels like you're kind of in control, literally in
Yep.
control of things. You're playing to your strengths.
Hmm.
Um, so
Yeah. Oh, that makes
yeah,
perfect
that's
sense. That
interesting.
makes perfect sense. Cluster is a really good, but it's also getting lost up in the other stuff. What could have been and what could be on top of all of that stuff, because then it's like a backtrack. It's like, oh, I've dreamt about all of this, and it's like, well, but you're not going to do anything with it. So
Yeah.
yeah, that makes perfect sense. Hmm.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Um, Liz says, with the devil, you're trapped, and the lovers, you have a choice. For 5, Debbie has the 8 of Swords. Okay.
Mm.
So your 4, Debbie, was, let's see, what was Debbie? It was the Page of Swords, and 5, you've got the Eight of Swords. So it almost feels like different uses of the mental suit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With the 4, with staying the course, the page might feel like a wee bit of a step back for the queen, but they're free to they're using their free will. They're free to swing that sword about. Whereas with the Eight of Swords, it feels a bit more troubled. It feels a bit more kind of I'm enclosed in this space. Um, so yeah, I mean sometimes the message is, like the High Priestess, for example. Sometimes the message the tarot has for us is the best thing to do is to do nothing. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes the best thing to do is continue the course that you're on,
Yeah.
to not actually take any action. Because you know what, but believe it or not, folks, we're not the be all and end all. We
Right.
are not all powerful beings.
Yeah.
We are tiny specks of dust on a tiny speck of dust within a big, massive
Mm-hmm.
universe or multiverse, whatever you happen to think.
Yep.
Um, you know, so sometimes it's best if we don't actually take a hand in what's going on and just trust the universe to have our back. Um, Kristen, you've got the Eight of Pentacles. So active future is one of uh, industriousness and dedication, tenacity, and working. And your 4 was the Devil. So the Devil was your passive, and the Eight of Pentacles was your active. So I don't know how you feel, Kristen. Like, what do you feel is the more viable option for you? Robin has got the 5 of Coins, so seeking help. So
I
maybe
al-
that is your action, Robin.
I also think that the 5 of Coins, it's seeking help. It's also helping, because in the 5 of Coins, if you ask for help, somebody needs to be able to give it. So you could also be the one to give the help too, if you see somebody who's in a need. So
Yeah, true. When you're reading, Robin, like you've got all these courts and that strength card. So Queen of Coins, Knight of Coins, Knight of Swords. Like the place that you're in feels, you know, feels like
mhm,
potentially it might be quite good, and maybe interfering with that too much
mhm,
is going to knock you off your kilter and
right.
make you feel that more 5 of Pentacles energy or 5 of Coins energy. Um, so yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know how I like this spread. I don't know. I don't know if I actually like the way that it's turning out to be, Gerald. I'll be honest.
Well, do you not like the
Um,
spread, or do you not like the reading that you're getting with the spread,
I
or
like the
both?
reading that I'm getting. I think the reading that I'm getting is very affirming. I just don't always feel as though. Well, I mean, I suppose I need to take the advice. I need to kind of when I was on my soapbox 2 minutes ago. I suppose I just need to listen to that. Um, but yeah. Anyway, sorry,
Mhm.
just
No,
get distracted.
okay.
Liz has got the Knight of Pentacles. So you had the Seven of Cups for the do nothing, and then the Knight of Pentacles for your active future. Okay. So if you
I
take a passive role, then sorry, Gerald, on you go.
Oh, I was just going to say, with the Knight of Pentacles, that is definitely a slow and steady. You've got a plan. You're following the instructions that you were given, and it there's still action in the Knight. Although it's a slow action, it's still an action, and it's a grounded action. Whereas the 7 of Cups, oh, what are the options? What might happen? What might happen? Instead of doing something. the Knight of Pence is actually doing something, even though it's slow in coming to fruition. So, I don't know. What did you think?
Yeah, no, like I think what you said. I feel like the Seven of Cups. So that feels like kind of the like not taking an active part in things, like being passive in things, is
Mm-hmm.
almost going to lead to this kind of a Netflix dilemma where you're just like, you're just looking at all the choices that are available to you and you're not
Yeah.
able to pick something. Whereas the Knight of Cups represents you actually making a decision, pressing that button, like taking an active part in what's kind of unfolding. Um, so yeah, it feels like you're kind of you're having to make a choice, and at some point that choice needs to be made. Otherwise, you're just going to kind of leave yourself
Yeah.
in this kind of
Yeah.
this limbo of unknown, I guess.
Mhm.
Um, Robin had said, I'm having a bit of trouble understanding the passive future versus the active. So let me read out again what it says in the spreads. So it says the passive future, the fourth card points towards the most likely future outcome if the querent decides to do nothing and passively accept whatever happens. Whereas the active future, in contrast, this reveals the future most likely to happen if the querent decides to act and affect the situation in some way. So the whole premise of this spread, Robin, is like, this is my situation, whatever question it was that you had. So for me, it was about my career, and I've got the choice to either kind of take a bit of a step back and just see what happens, let things happen as they come, or I can get really hands on and really kind of start demanding, like, this is what I want, this is what I want to be involved in, really take an active role in the direction that my career goes in. So the passive versus the active is letting me see, right, what are the outcomes of both of those kind of courses of action. If I decide to kind of step back and just let things happen as they happen, I had the Ten of Wands reversed. If I decide to be hands on and take more control of the situation, I have the life force energy.
Mm-hmm.
So for me,
Yeah.
it feels like a bit of a no-brainer, to be honest with you. Um, for Gerald's question is around creative endeavours, and does he stay the course and continue with these current plans, or does he, change things up, take an active hand in what's going on, and in order to actively change the direction and go and do something new? So for
Mm-hmm.
him, the advice felt like it was the opposite way around. For him, it felt for Gerald, it's like stay the course, because
Yeah.
as much as you might try and kind of change the direction, the actual effect that that's going to have, it's not going to be to change your direction. It's going to be leaving you kind of
Yeah.
try to split yourself in two and almost work
Oh, yeah.
it both at the same time. You know. Um, so yeah, that's how the active versus the
Yeah.
passive is working. And then the final card, folks, is the mystery. So the final card brings to light a mysterious aspect of the present situation. This is important because even if the querent has a clear view of what's happening to them, there is always something that is unknown. This card helps the querent understand the limits of their own perspective when it comes to analysing circumstances. It suggests reframing the situation or considering things in a different light. So the mystery.
Hmm. Um, Marita added something, was actually
Oh yeah. Um,
just to give some credit to that.
so the Ace of Wands, the Lovers, the Seven of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles,
Mm-hmm.
and the Page. So the Seven of Cups is coming up a lot here for people, isn't it?
It has been, yes.
So the Seven of
Wow.
Cups is your passive No, wait, I beg your pardon, I'm misreading. So 3 is your present, 4 is your passive future, so that's the Ace of Pentacles,
Mm-hmm.
and 5 is your Page of Wands.
Yeah,
Okay. So if I was you, I'd be quite torn there, Marita, because the passive
that's
is
actually
the
pretty
Ace of
good either
Pentacles.
way. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
being passive and just being present, I guess, is going to allow you to see an opportunity that's going to rise up. You know, the Clover card in the Lenormand is like it's an opportunity, but it's one that you need to pay attention in order to kind of
Mm-hmm.
actually see it.
Yeah.
That's how I see the Page of Cup. The Ace of Cups. Eight,
The Ace of
what am I trying to
Pentacles.
say, Gerald?
Ace
Ace
of
of Pentacles.
Pentacles.
That's the fucker. Um,
Yeah.
the Page of Wands, though, like taking an active part, that suggests like lots of ideas, lots of stuff is happening. Um, so yeah, I suppose it's like pick your poison, pick whatever
Yeah.
serves you best.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm. All right. So the mystery, your mystery is death or rebirth,
okay,
reversed.
okay,
So thinking about this with reverse, especially with death, I get the feeling you don't particularly care for change that you don't control. You don't want things doing. Oh, I'll be blunt. People, you don't like it when people do crap to you without letting you be in the know so that you can understand what the heck has happened and why,
hmm
because that helps you. You need to have that understanding. And the mystery is that part of this is that um, change is change, and it's how we adjust to it. It's the transition from the old way to the new way that is going to take us time, and it gives us an opportunity to shed some of the things that may not be as useful to us as as the old ways. So it could say that part of the mystery is it may be advantageous for you to not need to know everything to see how quickly you can land on your feet and get yourself upright.
okay,
So
brilliant.
because and if it's a business, they're not going to give you all of the secrets. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain thing, because that's not how businesses usually operate.
Yeah, is
So
that a black rose?
it is a black rose.
How beautiful is that?
This is a beautiful card. And so it when this
Yeah,
one shows up, I go, okay, change is going to happen, and it's not going to be easy. It's going to be
yeah,
transformative. It's going to be a rebirth. And snakes, when they grow, they shed their skin. They shed what doesn't work for them. And we have the, what are those, the lichens, the mushrooms on the trees helping to repurpose and
mhm,
return things. It's it's really powerful.
yeah, yeah. Stunning,
Hmm.
stunning card.
Especially opposite um the Knight of Swords, the Action of Swords, because that knight is going to actually go and keep going in the direction. This is the one that says, well, the road's actually going this way, so now you have to go that way.
Mm, yeah,
Ta-da. So
yeah.
so I
That's
don't
really
know.
cool.
Yeah, I don't know how that works for you.
So, so I'm thinking about like death reverse. So death it's about changes happening, but it's about transformation. So not just change for the sake of change, but it's actually kind of a so it's changing things for the better, you know.
Mhm.
It's consolidating everything
Yep.
and transforming it, evolving,
Mhm.
if you will,
Mhm.
in a way that is better than what it was before.
Yes.
The fact that it's reversed, I mean, I think exactly what you said. You know, there's changes happening and there's just no controlling it at all. You
Mhm.
know, there's changes going on around about me that I'm not aware of, whether I like it or not. The fact that it comes up reversed suggests that potentially, if I was aware or if I was acting differently, say, then I could be working the changes to my advantage. You know, I could be doing it in a way where it is transformative,
Yeah.
but just the fact that it's reversed makes me think that, in actual fact, the way it's working just now is it's not. It's not having that transformative effect. It's
Mhm.
like things are changing, and you know, it's like I'm not taking. It's an opportunity that I'm almost not taking up. Um. So yeah,
Yeah, and it's a painful growth opportunity, but on the other side of it, it's like if you're stuck on one side of the wall and you see a little doorway and you can only see you can only look and you can see in just straight forward, but if you act, through the keyhole, but then when you
yeah,
open the door, there's actually so much more. You'll actually be able to get around and you'll see things that you were not even expecting. So,
yeah,
so, but
yeah. That's pretty cool.
hmm
Okay, cool. Right, let's get your mystery. Let's solve your mystery.
woohoo.
So you've got the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is your mystery. That is your thing that's going on just now that you're potentially not aware of. The mysterious aspect of your present situation. Um, I'm not very often that I read the courts as people cards, but or as actual literal people. But yeah, I feel as though this is a person. This is a person who is influencing the situation in ways that you're not aware of yet.
hmm
Um, just in like I don't know what I was going to say there. You've got two cups cards, you've got two wands cards, and you've got two majors. So you've got water and you've got fire,
hmm
and then you've got the strength, which is fire, and you've got this very watery temperance. And the Knight of Cups for me is the fire of water.
hmm
Um,
Well, may I help you out a little bit?
please.
Jeffrey is oftentimes very, very good at helping me process things. So the mystery is to share with him and to allow him in on this thought process will actually
Mhm.
make it it will make it clearer. So the mystery is Jeffrey could add something that was completely unexpected.
Yeah, yeah. He's balancing the water and the fire, so
Yes.
he's bringing the balance to this
Yes.
situation.
Yeah.
Cool. But apparently that's a mystery.
Yep.
So maybe you've not spoke to him yet about this.
I
Maybe
have a
you've not
little bit.
properly kind of a
Yeah. Not all not not all of it. So,
right. Okay. Let's have a very quick look at what people in the chat have got. So Liz loves mysteries. Um,
oh, Debbie got
so
temperance.
Debbie is temperance.
Mm.
Okay, interesting. So let me just see, Debbie. So you had the Page of Swords and the Eight of Swords, didn't you? As your passive and active, and then Temperance. So there can be serenity in being passive. You know, being
Mm-hmm.
passive isn't always a negative thing. Temperance does kind of they are kind of a part and part. They're on land and they're on water. They are very still, but they're doing a lot in their stillness. So they're kind of a, depending on what deck you've got, they might be kind of a transforming. They might be combining water
Mm-hmm.
and fire. They might be like combining the two cups of water in a way that's supernatural. But
Yeah.
they're working their magic, even though they might seem as though they're not going anywhere and they're not doing anything. So there's magic that's happening and being passive. I suppose it's just about paying attention and seeing what that is. And sometimes the temperance can be a wee bit of like a prudish star, you know. So the star card is in the buff and they're pouring the cups out willingly onto the ground
Mm-hmm.
and into that pond. Whereas temperance is fully clothed and just feels a wee bit more sensible and everything's very contained. Um,
Debbie
sorry, Jared,
said
and you
Debbie
go.
said the temperance seemed perfect for this position for me.
Good,
So
good. I'm glad. Um, so Marita says the deck calls them coins instead of pence. Oh, so that was your revised, right? Okay,
yeah,
I've got you.
yeah.
Got you. Ah, so you were the seven of coins rather than the seven of cups. Okay, I've got
Ah,
you.
yeah. Yep.
Okay, so you're seven of coins. So maybe you're kind of you're, you're assessing the position that you're in, and you're waiting for, is it the right time to harvest or do I need to wait a bit longer? Um, you know, for your passive future, there's that one pentacle, but remember you had seven in the card before, and you're harvesting one. Whereas if you take an
Mhm.
active part, the Page of Wands, that just feels a lot more. There's a lot more oomph to that. There's a lot more excitement. There's a lot more passion in it. So now that I see it, in that way, maybe that changes my opinion. I don't know if it does yours, but it maybe changes my opinion on
I
what your
think it is
options
a
are.
I would say it's more about timing and paying attention to that making sure that things go in the right time,
Hmm.
if that makes sense. But yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, Liz, you've got the Eight of Wands upright for your mystery.
Actually, she said,
Okay.
"No, I'm blind." Six of Wands later,
Oh,
down on it later.
everyone's confusing me today. Um, I don't even see that. Oh yeah, it's just
Yeah.
I'm blind too. Apparently, it's two down. Um, cool. Okay, so the Six of Wands upright. Um, I mean that suggests
Or the
that
six of, or the six of yeah, six of Wands. Sorry, I was like going.
okay.
I thought you said swords, and I'm looking. I'll stop.
No, no, you're fine. Um,
It's past Chris's
Six of
bedtime, and I'm
Wands.
the one who's getting goofy.
um, if you think about your second card, right? It was you, Liz, that had that Five of Cups reversed, wasn't it? So I suppose the miss that be more confident in yourself because you've actually got things together a lot more than what you seem to think you do. Um, and other people can see you and celebrate you for the success and for the amazing person that you are. So you need to work at seeing that for yourself a bit, I think.
Hmm.
Um, Kristen's got the Seven of Swords. Being strategic, perhaps, work smart, not hard. I like that interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of Seven of Cups for us today. Yeah, there sure was. Um, Liz says it's a really beautiful card. Love the snake. So that was the
Oh
death
yeah.
card, the death and rebirth card
Yeah.
that Gerald had pulled. And do you know what's nice about that card, actually, Gerald? I'm just kind of realising, see, because the perspective, it doesn't make a difference whether it's upright or reversed
Nope.
because it's seen from above.
Yep. You're right.
It's like it's that like everything's still okay,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what way around it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yep.
That's quite cool. Marita got the nine of coins as the mystery card. So yeah, and what were your ace of wands was your kind of a personality, and your lovers was your kind of your approach. So the ace of wands, I suppose that's the part of yourself that's prevalent to the situation. That's how you're seeing yourself. The mystery was the nine of coins. So
Yeah. You also got the
maybe
ace of wands in the first position.
I did. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So I suppose I kind of want to say the same thing to you as what I did to Liz Marita. You know, you're seeing yourself as this ace of wands. You're maybe appreciating that there's some potential there, but you're not actually appreciating how far you've come and what you've actually
Mm-hmm.
achieved. And the fact that, you know, the nine of coins suggests that you've worked your little bum off to get to where you are. You've worked hard, and yeah, I think it's time to appreciate that, and appreciate the abundance that you've created for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Getting enough money is certainly a mystery to me. Robin says it's past Chris's bedtime. I don't think I was too bad today. um, oh my God, as soon as I wrote that, my Archangel Raphael coin stuck to my left elbow. I guess I should ask him. Um,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Temperance was perfect. We're all a little goofy, says Liz. Five of Cups, and we're all having eclipse hangovers. Yeah, that's true. That's
And
true.
by the way, Robin actually said his sixth card was the Seven of Cups. What option should I choose? Because that's a lot of, I mean, that's the mystery. That's actually a really fun card for for the mystery. It's like, well, I have all of these choices. Which one should I choose?
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty cool. Um,
Mercury retrograde.
yeah, I feel as though Mercury's always in retrograde.
Well, I was joking. I was like, on the universe at the end of March, just simply said, "Here, hold my beer. Let me show you what's going to come in April."
um, yes, I'd missed Robbins. I don't know how I managed that, and then oh yeah, do you know why? It's because I skipped over Robbins to get to Liz's
Uh,
correct card, and I
yeah.
didn't go back. So sorry, Robin. Apologies. So Seven of Cups. Which option should I choose? There you go. You've got more options than what you think. Okay. So, any
Wow.
final thoughts, Gerald?
Thank you. And I will say that the bottom of the deck for you is the Four of Pentacles reversed, which also
Right.
doesn't matter that it's reversed because you still see
Oh yeah.
you still see the squirrel hoarding all of the acorns. So
Yeah. That's nice.
there you go. This is
Very
great.
nice.
Thank you for inviting me, Chris.
That's okay. Thank you so much for coming on with me. You're, by the way, the bottom of your deck is the sun.
Oh God. Okay.
Um, so holding the power in the palm of your hand, it almost feels like it goes here, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
fiery energy.
Yes, it does.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much, Gerald, for being here. Thanks everyone else for being here and for joining in with us. Debbie's saying 2024 is kicking my ass. Kristen says this was fun. Glad I was able to be here for most of it. My cards add up to the lovers. My bottom card is the Nine of Swords. So my cards, what do they add up to?
I'm working on
14
it
and
for you.
14 is 28. 36. 44. Oh, geez, all these numbers are hard. 51 plus 12, 63.
Oh, it's a 9.
9.
Well,
Hermit.
that because I am a hermit. And yours total up to 61 or 7. So the chariot, because I count this as card 23.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I did it, and I explained that to Robin, the creator, on how I managed it, and it's like because it's how it's in the book. So
Nice.
you
But,
got a 7.
Gerald, here's an interesting thought. What if we take the reversed cards and make them negative numbers? Just for
Ooh.
funsies. What do we get then? So we would have the one, ace is 1,
Mm-hmm.
action is 12, so that's 13,
Yep.
14, 15 with your 2,
Mm-hmm.
15 plus 23 is 38, but then we're taking off 13, yeah?
Mm-hmm. And 10.
And we're taking off, so we're taking off 23, so 38 minus 23.
Which is basically this, because then you get rid of this. So you've got 15,
15.
15. So you've got a
Yeah.
lovers.
I've got a lover's devil, so it's all in the choice. That's what my soapbox, one
Yes.
of my many soapboxes that I've been on about the lovers and the devil.
Yep.
It's about the choice and the perversion of choice, and ultimately it's up to me on whether I act or not.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Okay. Right, folks. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope that everyone has an amazing weekend. I'm going to be getting a haircut at the weekend, so you'll see less of me next week.
Ooh.
And Gerald, have you got anything exciting coming up that you want to tell folks about?
Richie and I, with Allie from Heart and Soul Connected, are doing rock, paper, scissor readings on Friday. It's going to be at 5:30 British Summer Time. So join in.
Nice.
It'll be lots of fun.
Exciting stuff. Sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you enjoy. And yeah, take care, everyone. I'll see you all later. Bye bye.
Bye.